So now, so we talked about some of the tactics, some of the areas where you should be doing some digital marketing. How do you, let's talk about the measurement. When you start, do you start with kind of a baseline? This is where we're at. And then we revisit that and we say, okay, these are the kind of the key performance indicators that we're going to be looking at. And we want to see movement in these 2 or 3 areas. And then let's revisit after 30, 60, 90 days.
Yeah, precisely. And I'll let Dr. Semel speak to this a little bit. When he first came in and we sat down, we really wanted to understand his practice. And they do so many things. Unlike a dentist who says, hey, look, I just want more, people in here to get their teeth cleaned who may need some additional work. His organization's a little bit more complex. And
So how did you, Dr. Semel, how did you prioritize what was the, area that you wanted to emphasize?
Well, we look at weight loss because that's probably one of the largest health problems in the world. 70% of the population is overweight, with 30% of that being obese. So that's most of the target market that we pretty much we go into the marketplace and advertise for. We take those patients that are anywhere from the age of 40 to 60 and try to bring them into the anti-aging part of our clinic, because that's also very important for longevity and moving forward to be disease-free as you age.
So that's kind of the entry point is weight loss?
Correct, for most.
So now, so what were some of the tactics you were using to attract weight loss patients?
Well, recently we've basically been an internet-based marketing company. Prior, we were pretty much radio, TV, print ad, but I found that marketing on the internet was probably the best buck for the, bang for the buck.
Right.
Right. And so we did that for a few years, and it started to grow our practice as we concentrated just in that area. And then when we wanted to go into more concentrated marketing and get into the SEO and find out where we were going with that and pretty much have analytics towards it, that's when we decided to move in different directions.
So now, so when did AIS get involved?
AIS, now we've been working for about, a year.
Yeah.
And so you went after the weight loss? That was your mission?
Yeah, so we looked at, we said, okay, if there were one type of patient you could attract more of right now, what would that be? And that's what we identified.
So it was women with weight loss issues? Was that the target?
Not necessarily just women, but if you take, if you consider how Google works, Google doesn't care about your age or your orientation. I mean, all they look is Google just caters to the user. So we look at the type of keywords that people are typing in, what they're searching for, and the competition that currently ranks at the very top, and the type of content that needs to be created to dislodge the competitors, basically. Mm-hmm. Also, a big factor is geo-targeting. Today Google already tries to geo-target your searches. So if you go online and say, okay, local weight loss center, or just weight loss clinic, or weight loss practice, or weight loss programs, Google tries to deliver local results anyway. You don't have to say Atlanta weight loss centers.
Right. Because it's going to figure out where you're at, and that's where it's going to assume that that's where you want the answer.
Yeah, and for patients that need to come into the practice, they're probably not going to drive 100 miles. Let's face it. I mean, they may buy some products, or there may be certain circumstances.
Well, if they're coming to see Dr. Semel,
they do
travel from all over the world.
Right. Not all over the world, but at least in the.
But we definitely want to dominate the local.
Right. Well, another thing is when people age, they don't realize that a lot of times the reason why they gain weight is because they have a lack of hormones in their body, or decreasing in hormones in men, testosterone, and women, estrogen and testosterone. So we uncover these things and find out, because people say to me, well, my diet hasn't changed. I'm still working out 5 days a week, but why am I gaining this weight? So we pretty much find out and unlock the reasons why. And it's usually, in most cases, deficient hormones in the body.
Mm-hmm. And so you do that through medical tests, blood tests, things like that?
Correct. All different types of tests.
And then from that, then you can kind of diagnose and prescribe what is the appropriate solution.
Correct. And we titrate the medication every few months. You come in to make sure that your blood levels are where they should be, rather than getting too much or too little. This way you're in the right place.
And so you stay in this kind of optimal weight losing area.
Correct.
Through the proper hormone. I guess you're dealing with all of the, as it changes, because as you're making improvements, then you got to kind of tweak the solution, right?
Most definitely. If you went to a urologist or an endocrinologist, they would not treat you the same way hormonally as we do. We're all certified by the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine. We all pretty much know what is necessary for a patient to be at the optimal levels.
Right. But as you're losing weight, I think that's what some people think that they just fix this once. But as you're losing weight, then things are changing in your body, right? So you got to adjust the kind of prescription from that point.
Yes. And that's why they come in regularly for blood testing.